Alright, so in my opinion, The Equalizer is what the Taken series should have been. You know, the first Taken was pretty good, and then they just started slicing him up more than Gordon Ramsay would.
The more you do it, the finer it gets. You don't have to switch any blades.
Not saying The Equalizer is supreme or anything like that, but I think both movies are decent rent-its. Like, this is actually the first sequel Denzel has ever done. He's reuniting with his dude Antoine Fuqua, who directed him in Training Day, taking what was an old TV series and revamping it so he can become, I kid you not, a freaking superhero. Let me explain. So in the first one, Denzel was keeping it down lows at a hardware store as he was taking down like an entire sector of the Russian mafia. He was watching over Chloe Grace Moretz and equalizing everything since he's
the equalizer.
In the sequel, he's still evening things out, but this time he works for Lyft, right? He kind of has that Collateral vibe going where he socializes with different people, but at the same time, you know, he still worked for the special forces, and whenever he clocks out, he's also clocking out bad guys. He's not even worried if he can take out like a room full of dudes that are younger than him. He's more concerned if he could do it in record time. Legit, if I ever meet Denzel and he even looks at his watch, I'm dipping. Thing with this one is that he pretty much turns into Batman. He's on the Orient Express hunting down this missing girl as he's wearing a Forrest Whitaker disguise. He's got all the moves down. He practically raises a Robin under his wing. Now, I know some people are complaining because this movie may not have as much action as the first, but I think it does. Like, this car scene right here was so unnecessary. All Denzel had to do was put it on park and fight the man, but I guess they really wanted to do this shot right here because it looked cool. But, you know, you ain't wrong. There was a lot more talking in this movie, but I didn't think it was that bad. You got Sanders from Moonlight, who practically becomes his kid, you know. He's there, and there's this one point where he gives him this deep speech about how he shouldn't fall for the gang life. He should be his own man. There's even this book that appears throughout the movie that was actually an author's letter to his son about being black in America. But there's this one exchange that happens in this movie where he actually reaches out to the kid, and the kid tells him, "Why me?" And Denzel says, "Why not you?" And I was like, where was Denzel growing up for me? The big twist from the movie was that his friend from the agency gets killed, and she was the only one who knew he was
the equalizer.
So when she dies, he goes to reunite with his old teammates to try to solve her murder, only for it to turn out that it was them who did it. Didn't we just see this exact twist in Skyscraper last week? All of these guys are playing that gray card like Benicio did in The Last Jedi, where they were all good guys, but now, you know, they gotta make ends meet and they're taking out anyone who they possibly can. They just completely forgot that
the equalizer
wasn't dead. Legit, the ending of this movie takes place in Manchester by the Sea Storm, which was Denzel's hometown where his wife died, and he pretty much sets up this place with a bunch of booby traps in order to murder these special ops. He straight up Home Alones them. Like, for real, he harpoons a dude, kills another one with flower packets during an explosion. My man took the time to head to his local library and print out pictures of his friend to decorate the area during the massacre. Pedro, however, who's like his friend, the one who's leading the pack, is a straight up punk. Sure, he's got the same bone structure as Barry Pepper, but his sniping sucks. He spends the entire tourney at the top of this COD map, right? Up here, and somehow can't find a way to get a shot in. I kid you not, there's a point where this dude gets into a fight with the wind. I don't understand how we didn't see Denzel make his way up this Rapunzel-sized tower, and this dude yet again gets over in before falling to his death. Needless to say, Denzel gets the job done. He brings peace to Boston, completely neglects his buddy's family who no longer has a provider, and gets set to take on a third one because he is
the equalizer.
Thank you guys for checking out this video. I'm curious to know your thoughts down below. Like I said, I think these are both decent rent-its. I think Denzel, you know, he's out there still doing his things, and Antoine Fuqua makes those movies that I think are always like perfect rent-its. It's got enough action in there. He usually gets a pretty good soundtrack with it. I would recommend, if you are at home and you got HBO, definitely check out Barry. If you like this whole Hitman, I don't know, like storylines that are out there, bro, watch Barry, then tweet at me because you are going to love that show on HBO. Other than that, definitely let me know your thoughts, anything down below. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll send you a lift.